Hello, and welcome to another edition of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I'm the English Guy. I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. I do appreciate it. In this one, we're going to be covering the 24th of June 2021 edition of Impact Wrestling. So, that being said, drop into it. Opening matchup was between Rosemary and Kiera Hogan. Now, this has been building for a little while now, shall we say, because Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz Fire and Flavor are the Impact Knockout Tag Team Champions. And Rosemary and Havoc have kind of formed an alliance in a strange roundabout way and are possibly gunning for those titles. And you know what? I'm all for that because I do like every single one of those knockouts involved. So hopefully we'll see a matchup. But in terms of this matchup, this was actually quite good. I enjoyed this one. The Knockouts division has had a very strong showing in 2021. And this was another good showing. And very rarely do you see a matchup like this because I've never seen these two have a singles match, I think, ever, if memory serves correctly. But I enjoyed this one. It was a really good victory, I think, for Rosemary because to build the possible momentum of the tag team title match happening, and of course, there was interference from Tasha Steelz, but of course, Havoc came down to make sure that was counteracted. And with that being said, Rosemary did pick up the win in a very good, fun opening matchup. So, definite thumbs up for both ladies for producing a good opening contest. The next match was also a match in the Knockouts division, Deonna Purrazzo versus Susan. And this has come about since Susan and, I'm not going to say Kimberly, because I don't think Kimberly has kind of done what Susan has done, and that is distanced herself from Deonna Purrazzo, because a very unusual situation, because Susan's a very unusual character, but, you know, always a great character to watch. And Deonna Purrazzo is the Knockouts champion, has been a fantastic champion, to be fair. And this was a very unusual matchup, completely different from the first one. It was almost an exhibition for Deonna Purrazzo to show what she's about. But I think that's the story they were trying to tell here. Obviously, Deonna Purrazzo did pick up the win. And, it was basically a way to say to Susan, I never need you in the first place because you're holding me back in a strange roundabout way. And it showed it was basically just a one-sided match from Deonna Purrazzo, but I think, as I said, that's what they were trying to do in this contest, to create something a little bit different, a little bit unique, shall we say, to say Deonna is the dominant female in the Knockouts division, and she has got the championship. Not taking anything away from Fire and Flavor, that is. but no, this was a very unique but different kind of matchup. I've never seen this kind of matchup in the Knockouts division, but considering what they were doing, it worked very well. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here on in, to see if Deonna decides to walk around path even more, or Susan sticks with Kimberly. Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see. But for what these two were trying to do here, I give thumbs up, seriously, because very unusual type of matchup, but a matchup that was always fun to watch and unique, to say the least, that's for sure. But there we go. So, thumbs up once more for both Susan and Deonna Purrazzo. This match was Rohit Raju and Shirai versus Petey Williams and Trey Miguel. Now, of course, the X Division is on fire right now. It really is. And Miguel, Rohit, and Petey have a chance to become the #1 contender soon. And I'm looking forward to that matchup. And Shirai has always been the helpful man with Rohit Raju and was in this matchup. And to be honest, this was a fun tag match. And, of course, I've never seen Shirai in this kind of matchup before against two X Division wrestlers in Pete Williams and Trey Miguel. And you know what? I'm definitely, not against it, to be fair, because obviously the X Division has never been about weight limits. It's been about no limits. Anyone can compete in the X Division, so that's cool. Excuse me. But this was a fun tag match. I thought this was a great way to continue the progression in the X Division. Obviously, Rohit Raju doesn't really have any people he can trust in the X Division, except for perhaps maybe Rohit Raju. Sorry, for perhaps Shirai, maybe. I mean, whether he decides to compete in the X Division one day, who knows? Let's see what happens. But a lot of combustible elements led to what was a fun tag match. And Pete Williams and Trey Miguel just work as a tag team. They really do. And considering the two competitors, I'm not surprised to say that, to be honest. But this was a good tag match. I enjoyed this one, so definitely thumbs up. This match was Sam Beal versus Jake something, and this has been a bit of an unusual situation in Impact Wrestling. Sam Beal is a man who Brian Myers has taken under his wing as a kind of protege, because Brian Myers is the most professional wrestler, and Sam Beal is trying to make his name in Impact Wrestling, and Brian Myers is trying to help him out, and it's been unique. Again, say that word, but also entertaining in very unique ways. Again, I know I just said it unique again, but that's the best way to describe it. But it's been fun to watch, that's for sure. And Jake Something is, a guy who I think has got potential to be a feature star in Impact. He's breaking out on his own now. Now he's not with Dina. It's working. It's been great, and he did win the matchup very quickly. Black Hole Slam from Jake Something to Sam Beal. But I think obviously this was a outing for Sam Beal to try and build a reputation for himself as a star on the rise, shall I say. Didn't quite work out the way because he did lose. But you know what? Something happened in this matchup for Sam to try and get the win. Brian Myers was watching, and Brian Myers said it's okay that you lost. So, entertaining to say the least. But, carrying on, the situation will carry on, I'm sure. I've been enjoying it so far. So, definite thumbs up for both men for producing a unique addition to what Sam Beal's going for. So, there we go. Which brought us to the main event. And obviously my match of the night. Eddie Edwards and Kojima versus Violent by Design for the Impact Tag Team titles. And there's one thing that you can always guarantee from Eddie Edwards. It's been said by Josh Matthews, he is the heart and soul of Impact Wrestling, which is definitely no joke. I'll say the heart. I think more of the soul of Impact Wrestling. I'd say he's Rich Swann. But you know what? I'm not going to take it away from Eddie Edwards. They're teaming with the legendary Kojima against Violent by Design. And this was a very good tag match, to be fair. A superb main event. And I thought this was a great tag team title match. Great tag team wrestling from both teams. Back and forth. Hot tags. This match had everything going for it as a tag time match like this should have going for it. It was very, very well put together. And I thought Eddie Edwards and Kojima really shined brightly as a tag team. I mean, they've had interactions before in the past in Japan, of course, the United States, and when you've got like these two men teaming together, Kojima, Japanese legend, one of the hearts of New Japan Wrestling, shall we say, it's the heart of we're teaming with the heart of Impact Wrestling, Eddie Edwards. It's just going to work, and it works beautifully, and it does work beautifully. So it's a tag team, but not to take anything away from Violent by Design, they have been great tag team champions, and I think they've found their stride in the right way under the guidance of Eric Young. It's been working, and they really had a fantastic match here, to be fair, and I think this was their best match to date. And when the tag team hits their stride as tag team champions as a group as well, for like Violent by Design, it's just a joy to watch. And it's been good to watch at the start, but now it's really getting good to watch for Violent by Design. And not to take anything away from anybody's matchup, because everybody got on a fantastic performance. This is what an Impact World Tag Team title match should be. And it was a cracking main event to top off what was actually a very good episode of Impact Wrestling. And definite thumbs up to all four men in the main event for producing a really good tag team title match. And, Violent by Design did retain the titles, but you know what? That's fine, because I do like Violent by Design, and I was kind of hoping Eddie and Kojima would win, because I think they've been fantastic tag champions. But obviously that honour does fall to Violent by Design, who retain. So there we go. And on that note, I will end this review here. So thank you so much for watching. I will see everybody next time. But until next time, take care.